Hello, YouTube. I'm over here tapping the screen on TikTok to let people know that I'm live. Hello, Burger King, something, 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 something. Hello, all you people joining. Tap the screen, like it. I'm over here tapping the screen to like it myself to get more people over here. Share the live if you can. And, let's see. And I'm tapping the screen. Hello, Zephyr Green. I'm tapping the screen over here to get more likes, get more people here. You can help me by tapping the screen like a crazy ass motherfucker. If you're on TikTok, I don't know what you do on YouTube over there. I don't know, hit the thumbs up or some shit. Share it if you can. Follow if you're not following. Attitude Caffeinated. Hello, how the hell are you? I'm just tapping the screen a bunch of times. Now I'm going to share it to Facebook. Facebook Live. Huh. Doesn't have the TikTok link. Okay, TikTok's doing stupid shit. Okay, YouTube. I'm going to share it to Facebook. Oh, TikTok. You always changing shit that I want to have, man. There we go. Facebook. Uncle Birch coming to you live. I'm on YouTube and TikTok simultaneously. Two separate screens. I'm over here tapping. There you go. I shared the fucking YouTube. Tap the screen to like it. It gets more people here. I'm over here tapping the screen too, so you can help me by just tapping the screen like a crazy motherfucker. Um, Follow if you're not following. Share it if you can to all of your social medias. And if I don't know who you are, or don't know where you are, let me know. I always like to hear. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans, where it's like 90 degrees right about now. And hello, whoever is over there on YouTube. I can see you're there, but I can't see until it pops up on the screen. But I'm just tapping the screen a bunch of times, get the likes flowing, get people in here. Hello, Mike. Hello, Chelsea. Hello, Mark Stanford over there on YouTube. Alexa G Dragon, hello. Where are you? You're still wearing a mask. Very good, very good. That's very safe on social media. Zephyr Green, that's jumping back and forth. No idea how many people are there. Haley, Alex, thank you for all the likes. Yeah, tell me where you're from. Maryland, hello from Maryland. Place I've never been. There's the majority of the country I've never been to. Um, it's the farthest south I've ever been. I mean, that's about the farthest south you can go, except maybe part of Texas. Seattle, hello, how are you? That's a place I have been. Coming to you live from New Orleans, where we've got the southern Botox going on. Time of year where we sweat so much. God, look at that, I lost like 10 years. Taking all the wrinkles right out. Sweating like crazy. Santa Muerte Witch, how the hell are you? I don't remember where you are, but you'll probably tell me. And over here on YouTube, tell me where you are too. Hello, Fips Sober, Mark Stafford, whoever else is over there. I'm just over here tapping the screen. If you tap the screen over here on TikTok, helps me out. Gets more people here, the more likes we get. And since TikTok hires monkeys for their programmers, this is an exploit. You can like your own video, and it still counts as likes, and it gets people over to your video. So I'm just over here tapping, 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 tapping. Hello, hello. Alex sending me likes. Monkeys, that was racist. No, nobody ever calls Chinese people monkeys. That's not a slur, and most likely it's Chinese people uh, uh, programming TikTok, if you can call it programming. But yeah, that's not racist. Sorry about that. Old lady, 1990. How are you? 1990. You're not old.
I have shoes older than that.
I knew you were going to say something like that. Zeph Green, hello, hello, hello. All right, I'm just tapping the screen, tapping the screen. Uncle Birch, coming to you live from New Orleans. I teach witchcraft for a living, and that's what most people tend to ask me about. And so we have a little thing that we call Ask Uncle Birch. I don't know if it even said that on the live today. It didn't give me a chance to type it in. It just automatically did it because, again, TikTok was programmed by monkeys. Not well paid monkeys either, so they don't do a very good job. Um, so something funny and sad over here on YouTube. At the same time happened yesterday. A customer came in my shop to buy a mask, not wearing one. After the transaction, we went outside and told me to give him cigarettes. Okay, I mean that's kind of funny. Hello there, Phipps. How are you? Uncle Birch, I'm coming to you live on YouTube, TikTok. If we have any problem with any of the streams, if it's lagging on YouTube, jump over to TikTok. Uncle_Birch, or also Witch School, WITCHSKEWL. Or if it's lagging on TikTok, you jump over to YouTube, and it's Uncle Birch over here on YouTube. YouTube's where I post stuff that TikTok won't let me post. So if you ever want to see the uncensored Uncle Birch content, you got to be on my YouTube. Like he could not enter without a mask, so I say I just gave you one. He said, "Oh right," went back in. All right, that is kind of funny. Do you ever get Uncle Birch 3 back? I'm still fighting for it. If you want to send TikTok any messages to try and get it back, I'm getting ready to start again Monday. And Monday I'm going to spam them all week. It's kind of like magic. Spam the shit out of them and then let it go. Try and forget about it. Try not to think about my TikTok channel. Go do something else. Forget about it. And then if that doesn't work, then we go back to the thing and start, filing appeals, filing appeals, filing appeals, filing appeals. But funny thing is, I lost followers. It's a banned account. I went over there, 49,000 followers over there. I was at 51 when the ban happened. So I don't know how you can unfollow somebody when they're banned already, but it's been happening. I sent them several messages about getting your account back. Well, keep it up if you can. Just remember, it's Uncle Birch 3. Uncle Birch 2 is still out there, and I can't get into it. So it's some other kind of ban, or they won't let my password work. I know what the password is on that account. I just can't get into Uncle Birch 2, but it's still out there. It hasn't been losing followers, oddly enough. Let's see, what y'all want to talk about? Normally, we talk about witchcraft over here, magic, folk magic, whatever you got. I'm a teacher of witchcraft, and it helps me keep my teaching muscle strong. Helps me know what the kids want to know about these days, because when I was a baby witch, we wanted to know different stuff than y'all wanted to know. Hello, Christina, over there on YouTube. Yes, I'm giving advice. As soon as somebody asks me a question, sure. Witchcraft is awesome. Yes. I think so too.
Yay, witchcraft.
I'm sure. TikTok used to have a thing where I could mirror the video.
Oh, it doesn't do it anymore?
No, you can't do that anymore. So we got to read it backwards. Free the witches. Saw Norman Reedus wearing that on an episode of Ride, and just had to have it. Thanks for sending me likes. Somebody asked if I'm giving advice, so I'm waiting to see if they ask a question, because this is not a psychic reading channel. I'm not going to give you advice based on what I think your question might be. Can you avoid reincarnation with witchcraft? In some closed practices in witchcraft, including the one that I was brought up into, there was a belief that the initiation process was to speed the process of reincarnation. That we were born here to learn a certain amount of lessons, and the initiation process sped up the lessons and brought more lessons upon us to where we could learn more than one lifetime's worth of lessons in a lifetime, and thereby freeing us from the wheel of physical rebirth sooner than others. Yes. Sometimes substitutions are needed. How do you the substitute. Well, I picked the substitute by knowing my plants, wort cunning. If I can consume it, I have consumed it. If I can bathe in it, I have bathed in it. If I can grow it, I am growing it and communing with the plant. However, in Cunningham had a good one. I believe it was not in his herb magic book. It was in another. Uh, I don't even remember which book it was, but he had a table of substitutions, and some of the substitutions were just not valid at all, but some of them were pretty good. But I'm sure it's floating around on the internet, substitutions for different herbs. Um, Wait a minute. I heard he's doing terrible, lost his job. Who? Who lost his job? What are you talking about? Let's see, that's Julia. Julia. Okay, I see Julia asking, are you giving advice? And the next thing she says is, I heard he's doing terrible and lost his job. So what are you talking about? Well, now you're asking, how do I work out those feelings? What are you talking about? Who lost their jobs? How do I work out those feelings? Because I'm happy, but it's kind of dark. Are you talking about somebody that you cast on, like a curse, a hex, that kind of thing, and he lost his jobs? Yeah, I didn't see anything before that. Julia, let's see. Advice. Julia. I'm scrolling through trying to see what Julia said. I am not seeing it. Apparently it didn't go through or something. No, I'm just wishing him the worst, and it's happening. Okay, so Julia, magic doesn't always require candles and props and things. The candles and props and things, in my view, are subconscious triggers to portions of the subconscious mind that actually make the magic happen. They are props, for lack of a better word. And if you have done that, this is probably a good lesson for all y'all. If somebody's got it coming and you're going to curse them, you have to do it without remorse. You have to let it go. You cannot dwell on it. Do not feel bad about it. This is how you get blowback. The threefold law does not exist, but the blowback that can come back on you from doing baneful magic is because you didn't aim high, throw hard, and let it go. So if you have wished those things upon him and it's coming to pass, let it go. Hopefully you're wishing that upon him because it was just, but holding on to those, any feelings of remorse, come back on you. I would suggest doing a cleansing right now and letting it go. Like my kids always say, the third key of magic, forget about it. Let it go. Trying to figure out how to break a hex. I'm having horrible misfortune and no luck with life. Over here on YouTube, I've got 3 different versions of how to break a curse. You can go through there. Some of the available plants, rosemary's absolutely great for breaking a curse. Rue is absolutely great for breaking a curse. Even basil, I can use that for breaking a curse. But it's a little more complicated, so get over to YouTube and look up my how to break a curse videos. After this is over, don't leave. But I got questions over here on YouTube, I think. And about the lesser banishing ritual of pentagram. Is bad if I can't clearly visualize the bright sphere above? No, just practice. Practice, practice, practice. Thoughts on Mormon afterlife? I think South Park had it, man. Hell would have been better. Hell would have been better than the Mormon afterlife. Because, dum 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 dum. You go watch South Park and you'll know what I'm talking about. Horrible misfortune and no luck with life. It does, periods of bad luck can happen. I always say any bad luck or stuck bad situation that's over a year old is probably not natural. There should be cycles. The lack of cycles means it's been imposed on you. So um, definitely something to look at. You can always get a reading from Uncle Birch. Send me a message at Witch School, WITCHSKEWL, at gmail.com. That's Witch School, WITCHSKEWL, at gmail.com. My YouTube channel is Uncle Birch. I don't know, is it one word? Hey, you people on YouTube, is it one word or is it two words? My fucking
What?
name over here on YouTube.
Oh, it's a name?
I think it's Uncle Space Birch, but you'll find me. You'll find me over there. Matter of fact, just Google me. I always say Google me, bitch. I'm not calling you a bitch. Just Google me. You Google Uncle Birch, you find all of my stuff. Um, hey, love, I have a question. All right, fire away. Oh, you did. Okay. When doing a spell, do I always have to place a barrier, even though my guide is super protective of me? Um, Typically, the circle that's used in witchcraft is protected, but that's not its purpose. It is to contain the energy until we're ready to grab it all and throw it. If we just pull up a bunch of energy, it's just flying all over the house, in the backyard, down the neighbor's house, and all over the place. We want to be pulling up the energy in a circle. It's a containment vessel for the energy, so then we can grab the energy and throw it. Traditional witchcraft, um, that was the priest job. Um, the priest, actually, the priest brought up the energy, and the priestess gave it direction, creation, if you will, birth. Hello, Shelley, over there in California. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. That makes sense. Follow the host. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, follow the host. If you're not following me, share the live. If you can share it, tap the screen like a crazy motherfucker. If you want to help out and get more people over here. StreamYard, I don't. I have not found something that works. I don't know if I tried StreamYard. I tried, I think Ustream, and I tried their trial package. And it just didn't work. I couldn't get the chats from two different social medias in there at once. It's like, that's the minimal thing. I want to see the chats from all people on all channels that I'm on. And if your trial software does not work, I'm not paying for the one I'm not going to pay for, back in the day, that's what demos were for. You'd actually make the demo better than the product you pay for, because nobody's going to pay for something that doesn't work. So I tend to not get rid of my old phone and pass it on to my son. He doesn't need a new phone right now, so I have my old iPhone. So I'm doing it low tech. I've got two different phones on two different platforms, and that's why you keep seeing me go like this to see what people are saying over here. How long should you wait for magic to work? How long before you should try certain spells again? Traditionally, 3 moons. Um, Quite often, magic's going to manifest quicker than that. Sometimes it manifests immediately, but I teach my kids, you do your spell, you keep good notes, you write everything down that you did, the day you did it, everything. Slam that book in your face. Put it away. Tell yourself you're not going to look at that again for 3 moons. Get on your phone, get on your calendar, and set up a reminder 3 moons from now to go and look at that spell. Something should have manifested by then. It may not be what you wanted, but that's how we learn. We look at what did manifest based on what we were trying to manifest, and then we learn how to, as we like to say, adjust your windage, like they say in gun talk. What books would you recommend for the neophyte grade? A lot of people, there's so many books out there. Um, I like, I've liked Christopher Penczak over the years. He does have a scientific approach. God, it's the official witch of Salem. I forget her fucking name.
Lori Cabot.
Thank you. Lori Cabot has good books. She also, mixes science with her witchcraft. Hello, Bilbo. Um, um, some people disagree with me, but when you're a beginning witch, this shit can get expensive. just getting a bunch of books can be expensive. You can save yourself a lot by getting Buckland's complete book of witchcraft. You know, Buckland's not my favorite author by any means. And he comes from British traditional witchcraft, which is not one of my favorite traditions either. But there is no complete book of witchcraft. Buckland came pretty close. It's got all of your basics in there that you'd want from any other book, but he also teaches you how to do it yourself. You want to make your own rest. You want to make your own oils. He's got it. You want to make your own incense. He's got it. You want to make your own athame. He's got it. Your own altar. Got it. Ritual robe. He's got it. You want to make your own wine. You want to make your own ale, ritual mead. He's got it in there. You DIY. You can save yourself a lot of money. Some stuff you're not going to be able to make yourself. You're going to have to, go out and buy it. But um, uh, most times, the stuff that you make yourself is going to work better than the stuff you buy from some corporate clearinghouse. Can someone write it down and pin it, please? Write something down. What for that person? What is it? Oh, write that question down. Oh, wait, the reason I ask is because every time I dive, I end up with an open path. Drive. Hmm. That sounds good, actually. Yeah, Buckland. Oh, Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft. That's what you want to know. Okay. Buckland also messed some shit up with his own tradition, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, well, I think I think there was some times that Buckland was or accused of being a homophobe. I don't remember what the what brought that about, but British traditional witchcraft is very heterocentric, shall we say. Thank you, everyone, about the book. And you can also, if you just Google Uncle Birch, you will come up with my Amazon influencer page. And I haven't touched it in forever, but there's a lot on there. Oh, really? Hey, Brujo Ryan wants to come on, and I think I should do that. So I'm going to press yes. YouTube, you can't see this over here on YouTube. What the hell going on?
Hey, Uncle Birch.
Where are you? Where are you from? I don't even know that.
Oh, we never had an opportunity to chat, so I figured I would jump on here just to say hello.
Nice. I do my best work on lives.
Oh, really? Oh,
But
I'm in Boston.
Boston, right on. So you've probably been to Salem.
Oh, I absolutely refuse to go to Salem.
Me too. I mean, I probably will sometime, but when it came time to move, it's like, well, somebody teaches witchcraft for a living, I should be in New Orleans or Salem. It's like I don't like the vibe in Salem.
Salem is like, if you go to Salem, you will see people walking around in black pointy hats and black pointy shoes. And everybody is like there for, it's like Disneyland for witches. And it's really, all the shops are very gimmicky. And I mean, there's real witches that live there, but all of the witches that live in Salem for some reason are in some kind of like delusional reality where like Salem, Massachusetts is the only place where witchcraft actually happens. New Orleans, though, I love New Orleans.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, we get that too. Not as much the pointy hats, but a lot of the locals. We all look like witches, or then the vampires look like witches. Like I saw a vampire with a pentacle one time. I said, "Blessed be" to him. He goes, "I'm not Wiccan." And I said, "Well, neither am I." He says, "I'm a vampire." And I said, "Well, you have appropriated their symbol, however, so that's going to happen." Vampire symbol.
So where are you located, though?
I'm in New Orleans, stone throw from the French Quarter.
Oh, well, you're already there. You're already in the thick of it. That means you get to go down to Congo Square and hang out where all of the action happens.
Yeah, I'll be teaching at Hex Fest in August. Hex Fest is crazy, crazy, crazy. There's a lot of witches here, and there's twice as many on Hex Fest, and we just kind of take over the town.
Do you know Sam Elias from Crescent City Conjure?
Yeah, not a friend.
Oh, really? You're not really you're not a fan of Crescent City?
Well, first of all, my best friend who recently passed, Hoodoo Sen Moise, um, bought him Crescent City Conjure. They were boyfriends at the time, and I'll say it in front of God and everybody. Sen Elias screwed his tata, so his Palo initiation is invalid, for one. And the tata was my friend Hoodoo Sen Moise's best friend. So he was really broken up about it. You know, I kind of liked Elias. Then when I heard that and heard some of the things that came out of that, and the fact that he was taught hoodoo by a white guy and given his store by a white guy, and now he's all white people can't practice hoodoo. And I bet if I walk into his store, he'll take my fucking money. But he's really hardcore about the white people can't practice hoodoo thing. And matter of fact, the thing that I had a problem with you, the first video I ever saw of you, you came out and called hoodoo an ATR. And I just went, oh, fuck. No, I'm not listening to that guy anymore. I didn't give you a chance after that. But hoodoo's a folk magic.
That's okay.
Right. But I've gotten past it.
Well, I mean, you've said some shit too that I absolutely did not agree with, and you also have ran with some people that I absolutely do not like on this app. So I have to say, I would like to judge you for you. I don't necessarily want to put you into some kind of category in the back of my mind based on your associates, because not everyone's associates reflect their own views. So I have balls. I'm man enough to say that. To your face. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure if you watch my videos, I don't shy away from addressing any subject that I want to address. I feel, well, the thing is that sometimes I will say stuff, and then what I'm saying is there should be more refinement. I should be more refined, or maybe I should think an extra 5 minutes when I make the video to make sure that I don't fuck up on some minor issues. But the thing is, is that people don't realize that there are several different kinds of hoodoo. There are several different kinds of hoodoo. There's two specific streams of hoodoo that are very, very prevalent. And the first one is the one that you'll find on the East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and all of the people of color and Africans that were brought over that practiced hoodoo under the authoritarian structure of Protestant religions, Baptist or whatever, Lutherans, whoever the people were that were practicing those faiths. And then you have the hoodoo that comes out of New Orleans and out of Cuba and Haiti and the French and all of that. And people don't realize that there's a lot of Hispanic people that practice hoodoo or forms of hoodoo, but people aren't educated enough to be able to understand the difference.
Yeah.
Because but you know that. Like, I don't have to explain.
Well, there's a lot of Latino people in ATRs. Like Palo happens in Cuba. Voodoo, as we know it, happens in Haiti, and those are, largely Latino countries where they brought slaves over and they interacted with each other, and now they're a mixed race. So I remember, I'm not friends with them anymore, but God, who's this? My mean gay best friend, Hoodoo Brujo.
Or what's the new way?
I don't, Tio Brujo.
Yeah.
He doesn't call himself Hoodoo anymore because he got shit from people because he was not of African American descent. And so he changed his name.
Black people, all the black people, especially any black people that want to get on my videos, or even these two people who are in my room, need to understand that most black people in this country are completely ignorant and arrogant when it comes to your own practices. Because unfortunately, a lot of the black people that want to get up here and say, please stop appropriating my culture, have never got a fucking reading from a babalao in their life. They have never gone to a Haitian mambo in their life. They have never been to a fete in their life. They've never even come into contact with the spirit of their ancestors. So before these people run their mouth, when they don't even know anything about me or my history, you should go learn about your history first. And if you're mad about it in my room, be mad about it. Go cry about it. Go die mad about it. But what you need to do is if you're black, let me just put it this way. If you're black and you're not initiated into Palo, into voodoo, if you're not initiated in Santeria or Lukumi or Ifa, or you're not actively practicing hoodoo, and you have never gotten a reading from someone in the ATRs, get the fuck out of my room, because you don't have any right to speak on something that you don't even participate in. Matter of fact, most of the people who have a problem with me have never even put out a goddamn glass of water and a candle for their ancestors. Yeah. And if you don't like that, kiss my white ass.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
so
you hit on an excellent point, because I'm a Polero, and when I learned how to do the Bovida, with glass, I was taught to elevate my ancestors. It was for my mother, and the glass starts on the floor, and every day we put a book under it until it eventually reaches the level of the Bovida, the table. And then we move it over there. So we elevate our ancestors. I've heard countless people say it's like, oh, well, none of those ancestors are going to work with white people because of all the terrible things that somebody with white skin once did to one of them. And it's like, I don't believe in taking my ancestors after death and putting them back down in the muck they were in. They should be better now. They should see clearer now. They should see beyond skin color as something that's fucking important. And the one thing that they're not going to be after death is a fucking bigot. But I would hope that elevating your ancestors was in all of the ATRs, but it seems like some people missed that memo.
For you motherfuckers in my room who want to know who the ancestors I'm honoring my West African ancestors and my indigenous Native American ancestors that are the people that Columbus colonized, the Taino Indian, the Native American that lived in Cuba, in the Caribbean, the island of Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic. Those people that greeted Christopher Columbus are my ancestors because I'm Puerto Rican. And just because I got red hair and white skin doesn't mean that you know what my ethnicity is. So that's another problem with this young generation of 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds and 15-year-olds is before they pop off, they don't stop to ask, motherfucker, hey, cracker, yo, cracker, what kind of ancestry do you have that gives you the right to call on your ancestors? And the ancestors that I call on when I'm working this tradition are my African ancestors. You don't like it, I don't care. They're also the people I'm calling on are my Native American ancestors. You don't like it, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I don't have to prove anything to you because I have posted my DNA results about where my ethnicity comes from. And if you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yeah, hey Jada. Jada says she popped into your room and some people are telling him to shut up and being rude. So I see what you're responding to now.
It's the same arrogant and ignorant black people that always get on my shit. So you're just here for it too.
Well, and I've done my DNA too, and I find some African blood in there, and it was right about the time that I got into Palo that I found that, and it's like one of the things that I've said to these people that want to give me shit. It's like, do you really believe that I should ignore some of my ancestors because of their skin color? I should not honor those ancestors because they're black. Really, even though they're in my DNA, they're fucking in my blood, I should not honor those. Now, having said that, I have not honored my Nordic ancestors. I never have really done that, and it's on my agenda. It's on my list of things to do.
As a white person, and as a very, very, I'd be very European looking, as a European person, for me to choose to ignore my African ancestry, that would be telling my ancestors to get to the back of the bus.
Ooh, I'm using that.
What I'm going to do with my people. Now, here's the other thing. I see a lot of black people getting on this app saying shit like, who are you going to call on? Your KKK colonizer ancestors? Well, here's the thing. If you know anything about African religion, which you don't, is that the ancestors, the Egun, are highly elevated spirits. They say in Ifa that the ancestors sit at the left hand of God. So when we talk about ancestors, we're talking about spirits that have lived and died and reincarnated many, many times. They've lived many, many times. And after they die, they elevate to the status of ancestor. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is, okay? And so when we're calling down our ancestors, we're not talking about the rapists and the pedophiles and the murderers and all of the horrible people, all those shitty people in our ancestry. Everybody has that in your ancestry. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is or your race. Everybody has nasty people in their ancestry. We don't call on those people. And not every single white person who has ever lived in all of history has been racist, in case you didn't know that.
You know, one thing, you know, I like to throw out there for this argument is like I got Marta sitting across from me. She's Ukrainian, and the entire Eastern Bloc, all of the Baltic states, were not here. They were not here until like 1970.
There's a whole group of white people that missed slavery altogether.
Well, and then there's the Quakers. And without the Quakers, the Underground Railroad would not have happened. You needed landowners all the way up to Canada to make the thing happen. And, you know, black people were not owning land at the time. The Quakers were, you know, some of the best white people probably on the planet. There's nothing really bad you can say about the fucking Quakers.
You know what's funny is one of these people in my room, one of the woke people said, "What before you belittle black people for not knowing about their ancestral religions, why don't you think about why?" Well, let me tell you, this is 2022. And guess what? Google works and your cell phone works. And any person, any African American person or person of color, I'm waiting for my live to get cut off from these people flagging me. Any person of color or any African American person that wants to learn about Africa can get on YouTube. You can get on Google. You can type in African religion. You can type in ancestor. You can type in African American ancestor. There's all kinds of words in the English language that you can Google that will give you immediate responses about traditional African religion. So if you're not doing it, it's not my fault that you're not reaching out to your ancestors. So for you to be mad that I'm doing my own thing over here and you're not, your opinion about me doesn't matter. Did you know that? Your opinion doesn't matter. And so I would suggest to you, anybody who gets really angry at me, first, pay attention. Anyone who wants to get angry at me for my practices, stop, think, listen, and go look at your own practices first. And here's the best part. You ready? Because he's white, I'm white, and we're both initiated into Palo. Okay, we're both initiated. We're both scratched into this. Okay.
I'm sorry. Wait.
So,
Hold on.
Hold on.
Salam alaikum. I didn't know that.
Oh, alaikum salam. Okay.
Now we're good.
All right. I'm sorry. I should have greeted you properly when I just jumped in.
I did not know that about you.
Anybody who has a problem with us because of our practices, I'm begging you. Okay. What I'm begging you is go get a reading from a Babalao. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anything we have to say. Go talk to a priest. Go talk to a Babalao. Go talk to a Tata. Go talk to a person of color that actually practice these things and ask them who can practice these things. And they'll answer you, because I don't have to sit here and argue with you because you're ignorant. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, so, in Palo, and I'm sure you've run across this too, the mainstream Palo says that there is no such thing as a gay polero, and that it's against the rules and a taboo. However, as you know, the Nkisi decides, and if the Nkisi decides, you don't get to argue with the Nkisi. And I know plenty of gay poleros. I just mentioned Hoodoo Simois. He was gay. San Elias is gay, and he allegedly was scratched in the Palo too. It doesn't, all these rules that people come up with, all the bigotry that they throw into their religion, doesn't matter in ATRs. Every ATR I know, the spirit decides, and the priest and priestess perform a ceremony based on what the spirit said. The priest and priestess do not decide. Unless they want to fudge the reading and say, oh no, they said no. But I don't think any priest and priestess in an ATR is going to play with that and fuck themselves up.
Well, what I tell people is, and I don't get to talk to a lot of paleros. My Tata, Medium Lugo, I don't know if you
I know him.
him or not. He's a Medium Lugo. Okay, that's my Tata.
All right.
And he's the person that scratched me into the house of my Madrina. Okay, and I'm still a part of
Shit,
their
you know
house.
what? I did know that. I did know that, and I think I remember when you got scratched. I forgot.
The thing is that what people don't understand are all of these things are divine. These are divine. This priest goes before the spirit, before the pot, or before or whatever they're working with. Okay, whatever orisha they're working with, and there's divination that is performed, concrete, not laying down tarot cards, not looking at some tarot cards trying to decipher whether or not orisha wants you around or not. There are specific divinational tools that will tell you, yes, you belong here, or no, you don't. And if you don't belong in that space, obviously, don't go into a space that you're not wanted. But as far as I know, at least as in my house is concerned, is that people who are gay are usually not made tatas or priests. But that doesn't mean individual people that are devotees, practitioners, paleros, espiritistas, and even people that the Egun says needs to be scratched in order to receive a Santeria or Lukumi, that they don't get scratched. So the reason why that the homophobia and stuff exist is because, well, Hispanic culture.
Exactly.
Catholicism.
People bringing
There's a lot of
well,
reasons.
that's the same reason that a woman can't be in the manonso on her period, because of human baggage, human imposed stuff. And if I asked, first time I said, why can't the woman be in the manonso during her period? Says, well, because she's unclean. It's like, whoa, that's some Catholic shit right there. But Cuba.
Well, actually, no. Actually, that's not correct. The uncleanliness is actually not why a woman should not be in the room. The reason why a woman should not be in the room when she's menstruating is because those spirits will literally attach themselves to her and they will bleed her to death, because those spirits, they love blood. That's what they
That's what I've heard, but I've known women in the manonso during their period where that didn't happen. So that is what people say, but what people say is usually based on their own baggage. Now, my Tata is gay, and he was scratched as a Tata. He was scratched in Cuba, a very prominent house in Cuba, and he told me this story. He went there, and he actually went to the graveyard himself, threw the chummalungos on the grave, paid the grave robbers to get the bones. That whole shit that we're not supposed to talk about. And he goes to the Tata, and when they're getting ready to, do the first scratch, he says to the guy, he goes, wait, before we do this, I gotta be straight. I'm gay. And Tata just looked at him for the longest time and eventually said, and? He goes, well, in America, we're told that gay people can't be paleros, and they can't be Tatas. And the guy said, what? He goes, so tell me this. You have a penis, right? He goes, yeah. He goes, and it works? And he goes, yeah. He goes, you're a man. That's all that matters, is that you're a man. You have to be a man to be a Tata. And that was fucking it. So here he is in the homeland of Apollo. Some people are going to say, no, it's Africa. It's like, no. The roots may be African, but if we go over there, we're going to find orishas and other similar practices. Palo doesn't become Palo till it gets to Cuba. That's the homeland of Palo, and here's a Tata in Cuba, prominent house, and he doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about over here.
Hold on a second. So I just made like at least 4 people of my people moderators in this chat. You can go ahead and take these black people that are ignorant and arrogant, that just want to run their mouth about the color of my skin, and you can kick those motherfuckers right out of my room right now. Chantel, all you people, these people irritating you, just go ahead and take them out. Take them out, just like a machine gun. Boom, 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 boom. Just totally block them and take them out of the room. Because I'm tired of seeing this ignorance bullshit, all of this craziness. And that's what sucks about TikTok. TikTok is full of misinformation.
Yes.
Now, you have been practicing magic for a long time. I might not agree with something that you say, but at the same time, you've been practicing magic for a long time. Fine, do your thing. You're an adult. You're a grown ass man. You can do your own thing. But it's the amount of misinformation that comes in from people who have not been practicing very long and bring in these new concepts into magic that never existed before, completely never existed before at all. That is a problem, and that's the problem with social media. Is you see a lot of misinformation. And as an example, and whether people like it or not, I see a lot of young black women jumping on TikTok saying they're priestesses of Oshun, high priestess of Oshun. I'm sorry, no, you're not. Because Oshun already has a priesthood that takes care of her. It's called everyone that practices Ifa. It's called everyone that practices Lakumi. It's called everyone who practices Santeria. There's a process for becoming a priestess of Oshun. It requires receiving your eleges. It requires getting your hand in Ifa. It requires finding out who your guardian angel is. It requires an initiation that is going to put that Orisha on your head and make you a priestess of Orisha. So those are things that have to be done if you want to be a high priestess. But just to show up in the app and say that you're a high priestess of something, people don't understand the process that is required in order to do these things.
Yeah. Well, I think about 10 years ago on Facebook on a page called Beginners Wicca and Witchcraft. That's where I first ran into that. This 14-year-old girl said she's a high priestess. And, to me, that means something. And that is not something you can accomplish at 14 years old. I started early. I was probably initiated by 14 when I started at 13 and was probably initiated as a priest by 15, but I was in a rushed program. So I asked her, I said, so how did you become a high priestess? I said, well, my friend was a high priestess, and I asked her if she'd make me one, and she said, okay. Those are your requirements, huh? That's fucking it. And I blame Gerald fucking Gardner for that. His idea that after your first degree initiation, you're an acting priest or priestess, somehow the baby witches didn't hear the word acting. And they've run with that, and they think, after a year and a day, you could be a high anything. Unless you're high, I don't think you're much after a fucking year and a day. But then that's different. It's like in witchcraft, we learn a year's worth of shit before we get initiated. In Palo, I remember very specifically standing there with a machete between my fucking teeth when they asked me certain questions, and the answer to every answer that I gave was, you don't know shit. It's like, what's your name? You don't know shit. And you didn't know shit in Palo until you're initiated. There may be some stuff you could study. There's maybe 2 books that were acceptable to read on Palo beforehand, but until that point. And then it was just sitting around the Tata's table all fucking night long, absorbing everything he had to say without the ability to write it down. That was the hardest part. And that's where I think a lot of the ATRs have got it wrong. Oral practices have not worked for any tradition on the planet. And that is the reason that witches eventually wrote the Book of Shadows, because the oral traditions had lost so much of it, they had to write it down. And it was considered a sin back then to write down witchcraft too. But it wouldn't have survived without
You know
it.
what? I don't necessarily know if I agree with you on that. And I have a particular perspective. I have a very particular perspective about the whole thing about writing something down. And this is just my opinion. Obviously, everyone can take it with a grain of salt. I think what's beautiful about like Ifa and the system of divination is they actually have taken the Ifa system and published books on the holy Odus. So, I mean, there's actually books out there that will tell you what every single sign that comes out in Ifa, what the meaning is, the translation, and all of that. But I think what's really beautiful about an oral tradition is that it is able to evolve with people in the time and place that people are practicing and continue to be relevant. So what I see is like when I think about writing shit down, I think about the Bible. That's what I think of. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the Bible, a lot of the things that are in the Bible were pretty revolutionary for their time. Like, as an example, you know, when Moses had to stand there and tell the Jews, you can't fuck your daughter, you can't fuck your son, you can't practice incest anymore because that's, you know, God doesn't like that. You know, he was teaching people who needed to be told that they shouldn't do those things, you know. But, you know, the teachings that were taught 2,500 years ago, 3,000 years ago, might not necessarily be relevant in 2022. But when we try to continue to make certain scriptures relevant today, that's where we get a break between reality, our culture, and then religion that was codified. And so I don't necessarily think codifying these practices would be good in the long term. But one of the things that's really, really bad is that what you get in the practices of, like, say, Santeria and Palo, is what people don't understand is that when you are made a priest or a priestess, when you're crowned or whenever you become a tata or whatever, you're in charge of running your own house. You start your own house, you run the house the way you want to. So you get 5 different practitioners of Palo, or you get 5 different tatas. Each tata might run his house differently or a little differently. One tata might refuse to scratch anybody who's not a cisgendered heterosexual man. And guess what? If that is what he does, that's how he runs his house. There might be another tata that says, okay, well, you might be queer, you might be part of the community, the LGBT community. I'll scratch you, but I'm not going to make you a priest. And then you have other people that might be scratched all the way to the priesthood. And the thing is that's what's confusing to people who are interested in coming to these traditions, because there isn't a codified book of law on these things.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, back in, you know, in
So,
Druidic times, the bards believed that a story should never be written down, or you kill the story. But eventually, and so it was taboo to write things down then too, but eventually you kind of had to. And just in my time, during the times of Wicca, we lost so much witchcraft. It's like the majority of what I do out here on TikTok or on my Gumroad page, my paid classes, or on fucking YouTube is just remember a bunch of old shit that nobody remembers anymore. You know, everybody knew all of the shit that I'm teaching back when I was a kid, and nobody knows it anymore because fucking Wicca. Wicca ran so fast and lost so much shit along the way and became a joke. Wicca became a fucking parody. The only time I ever refer to myself as a Wiccan is if I'm in a court of law having to defend my religious rights. Then all of a sudden I'm Wiccan again.
Well, there you go, though. You see, that's the thing. So it's a two-edged sword. Once again, yes, Wicca might have taken the craft and turned it into something that is not recognizable witchcraft, like real witchcraft. But at the same time, if we didn't have books on Wicca and Scott Cunningham, we wouldn't have a witch revival. We wouldn't have so many people actually wanting to be witches if we didn't have that. So there's an upside to it and a bad side to it. The bad side to it is there's not enough qualified educators in witchcraft to be able to manage the amount of people who are interested in practicing witchcraft.
Yeah.
Then the other thing is that the law. You know, you get drugged before a court, you can pull that Wicca card. Anyone can pull that Wicca card. I'm a Wiccan, and the United States government recognizes Wicca as a religion. I have the right to have a pentagram slapped on top of my military grave and the whole nine. So there's positive and negative aspects to it.
Absolutely. I got a question over here. Alexandrian Broyles. Can you explain what scratched means? I'll let you go.
Okay.
Scratch.
So the spirituality, I don't know whether or not it's a spirituality and it's a religion that me and the uncle over here are initiated to, is called Palo Mayombe. And Palo Mayombe is a religion that developed primarily on the island of Cuba. Okay?
I know it's Tata.
So what had happened was, when the Portuguese found their way down into Africa, okay? This is prior to Christopher Columbus ever showing up in America. When the Portuguese explorers found their way down to the Kingdom of the Congo, Catholicism was embraced by the the king of the Congo at the time converted himself to Catholicism. And the reason why he converted himself to Catholicism was because it was good for his kingdom. It was a political move. He made a very strategic political move to Catholicize the Kingdom of the Congo. And in the Kingdom of the Congo in Central Africa, a lot of Catholicism and a lot of traditional religions in Africa mixed with one another. They existed side by side with one another. And when those Africans from the Congo were pulled over to the New World into Cuba, into the Caribbean, then a lot of those practices, those indigenous practices that African people brought over, that also mixed with Native American spirituality. And so you have a new tradition. It's called Palo Mayombe. And in Africa, the person who was the shaman or the priest was named the Nganga. In the New World, the Nganga became the pot that the Palero works with, and he works with spirits of the dead. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. It's a religion that was really transformed in Cuba, and now is practiced all over the Americas by people specifically who are really Hispanic, and then everybody else who comes to the tradition. And in order to be initiated in the tradition, you will actually be scratched or in the initiation process. And I'll say this because everybody can read about this. You will actually be cut. You will be cut in different places all over your body that will represent the initiation process of being initiated into the religion. So whether it's a razor blade or a machete or whatever they pull out of the side of the room to cut you with, then they will cut you, and that will be part of the initiation process.
I'm glad it was a razor blade. I have seen some machete ceremonies where just your entire back's carved up, like some internet poleros, some scary shit out there.
And I want to tell everyone there is a light side and a dark side to Palo, because Palo is a religion that's based in nature, okay? And like nature is both exquisitely beautiful and harmonious, nature is extremely dangerous and can kill you, okay? So just like fire keeps us warm, the same fire can burn you. Just like a snake is really beautiful to look at, poisonous snake, if it bites you, will kill you. And it doesn't mean that the snake is bad. It just means that's part of nature. So people who practice Palo are tended to be looked at as people who are darker or on a darker path, because a lot of our practices are misunderstood. They don't understand the practices.
Well, I got into Palo specifically for war. I was involved in some serious witch wars, a very public person, and Palo addressed that. But then I got into Palo and I found a whole lot more. And what I've said, for lack of a better word, an entire life in paganism, Palo's the most pagan thing I've ever fucking done. It is the most connected to the earth. It's down in the fucking dirt and the mud and the blood, and not up on some elevated fucking pedestal table with a white altar cloth.
Like $300
The
athame.
$300 athame. It's like it was nature, fucking nature. And apparently here we can grow a ceiba tree. So we're thinking about, we might grow one in the backyard.
Okay.
We'd have to take out that tree or something. We talked about it before.
I didn't agree to anything.
Someone just asked me what other practices besides Palo am I initiated in? The 21 divisions. And I don't know if you know what 21 divisions is, but it is, it's voodoo. It's the voodoo specifically. There's many different. There's the voodoo that comes out of the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, which is practiced differently than it's practiced in Haiti, primarily because the language difference, because in Haiti they speak Creole and in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico they speak Spanish. But the deities that are the Loa that are worked with in voodoo and Haitian voodoo are the same Loa that are worked with in the 21 divisions. And so those are my two initiations. That's enough. That's enough.
That'll keep you busy right there. Over here on YouTube, a couple people ask, we got Brujo Ryan over here on TikTok, so you hear him. You don't see him, but you hear him. Hello, Darren. How the hell are you? So I'm doing YouTube and TikTok simultaneously. Two different screens, very low tech. I got two phones
Oh,
side by
oh, I'm
side.
sorry.
No problem.
If
I
you're
just
doing
some that tends to be what I'm doing too. Oh, we got lightning, 8.2
but I
miles.
have to ask a question. I have to ask you a question though. Who do send Moise? How did he die? Are you at liberty to say?
No,
How
we're
did he
at
pass
liberty
away?
to say.
Not at liberty to say. He had complications. He he pretty often, like a couple times a year. There are a lot of speculation. Some people think he caught something from there.
Uh,
I don't think that was it. But yeah, he's had medical complications, but died way too early. It was like in his 30s.
You know, these.
yeah, I know.
The
I was
accurate, he
really
was 42.
Oh,
sorry.
42. I'm sorry, 42. But yeah.
That's a shame because I loved his book.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was a really good friend. I mean, like you were talking about how Salem has that touristy thing. It's like the majority of the shops in the French Quarter, mostly tourist things. Like a good friend of mine, Christian Day, both of his shops are mostly tourist witchcraft stuff. So when I needed actual supplies, I went to Moise's shop. And it was like on Bourbon Street. So it was like in the heart of where he really needed to have more tourist stuff. But I remember when he closed, he was selling a bottle of uh, Hoyt's cologne, about yay big. It was about like the size that you would get on an airplane, $12.95. I'm selling like a bottle this
Oh
big
wow.
for fucking $7.95.
You're not
But
paying
but
rent on
but
Bourbon
yeah, in the
Street.
French
Yeah.
Quarter, he was able to like charge exorbitant prices. I always got a discount, but I never really wanted the discount. I was just trying to support his store. But yeah, it was one of the better shops for
Yeah,
actual
no, he
stuff.
made a 500% upsale on all of that stuff.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
1,000% upsale.
But it's quite a book. Quite a book. I love his book. I still haven't finished his book. We got it on the shelf over there. But he's a very good friend. One of the few people that's been over to our house a lot.
During COVID.
And during COVID, he was one of the only people we let come
Well,
over
you
during
need to
COVID.
read my book.
You have a book?
You need to read my book and then give me a review. Yeah, I published a book. I published a book on Amazon. You can buy it on Kindle and in paperback. It's called Brujo, and I would love to find out what you think about it if you ever get a chance to check it out.
Yeah, send me a link or something. Because I'll probably forget. But yeah, I did not know that. I mean,
Yes.
you have so many channels. Do you
Okay.
like keep changing your name every day or something?
Well, yes.
Okay.
No, it's not that. It's I have to dodge the TikTok algorithm or else they'll completely eradicate me from this app. So
Yeah.
I'm focusing on this particular this channel that I have right now is what I'm focusing on. But yeah, I do have a few out there.
I keep
But
finding ones that I'm already following
like I
that I
said,
never heard of.
I'm not on this app because I want. Yeah, I'm not on this app because I want a lot of followers. Like, I'm not trying to get 100,000 followers. I don't need 1 million followers. What I need is for anybody who's really interested in learning stuff that want to hear what I have to say for them to
Yeah.
contact me. And also I do readings. So, I mean, a lot of the reasons why I'm on here is because if people like who I am, then they'll contact me and, want to get a reading or something like that.
Well, I'm still fighting to try and
Yeah.
get back my Uncle Birch 3 account. But what I have found, especially since the digital inquisition happened, that happened during my first account. That was 65,000 followers roughly. I got big enough for the Christians to come after me. And then I had another account. It was like hanging at 5,000 forever. And then once something happened, some weird shit happens in the algorithm, and all of a sudden I'm getting 100 followers an hour. And that one got up to 51,000, and then bam, they got me again. One night, like I told myself, it's like, you know what? You need to put it on private every night before you go to bed. And that one night, I didn't put it on private before I went to bed, and somebody reported a year's worth of videos in one night. Like, it was a Saturday night. They had no social life. They just sat there going fucking like this. I woke up, banned, still trying to get that account back. But I'm not not really wanting a whole lot of followers, because that's when the shit happens. That's when they come after you. Right now I'm at 1,200 right now. I'm not big enough for them to care about right now, so I can say what I'm gonna fucking say.
Yeah, I have multiple accounts because most of the people that follow me on all of the accounts. And that way, if I wake up one morning and this Brujo Ryan profile is gone, I can get on my other profile and be like, well, another one bites the dust. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
happens.
I just wish I
Another
could get
profile
all the
bites
people from
dust,
my other
and then
accounts over
I
here.
start over, you know?
Yeah. I think I'm following you on YouTube. I know I'm following Witchfoot. I've been on YouTube for like, shit, going on 15 years, I think, man. And it was, there was nobody doing it yet back then.
YouTube is a great place. I wish more people would do it.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube is
Yeah,
where I put
yeah.
the
I wish
stuff
more
that's going to
people
get
would
taken
actually
down.
jump on TikTok and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I put.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to get stuff taken down on YouTube.
Yeah, one time on our podcast, we play a lot of songs that we don't have permission to play. And usually they're old punk bands or hardcore hip hop, so nobody gives a shit really. But YouTube will threaten us. But one time we played a Prince song, and they took that show down. But that was the only time we got a show like pulled from YouTube. I can do anything that I can't do on TikTok, get on YouTube. Like that song I have that I really want to re-release for the 4th of July, where the chorus is, I heard the flag was made of marijuana, maybe that's why it burns so well. Well, I can't post that on TikTok, it gets taken down, but it's over on YouTube.
Well, I know that I probably should start making videos. What my wife has done recently is if she has a clapback to make on somebody who's just really coming at her in a really negative way, she'll make a YouTube video about it and then she'll post on TikTok. I responded to this person, go watch the YouTube video, and that kind of just takes all of the heat off of your TikTok profile. And
Yeah.
so, maybe you want to, but I would drive more people to your YouTube channel. Use TikTok as an opportunity to push people.
Well,
to
that's
go
the
to your
thing.
YouTube,
If TikTok finds that you're doing that,
Anyway,
that rules
Uncle-
against you too. If you're taking people off of or directing
Oh,
people
really?
off
Oh,
of
fuck
TikTok and they see that, it's like they'll flag you too.
It was very nice to chat with you for a little bit
Thanks for
today.
jumping
I'm
in.
actually going to go now. My day is over. I'm taking a nap. And next time, well, I'll see you again.
Yeah.
And now that I know that you're in New Orleans, then if I get to NOLA, then I will remember to
Give me a shout.
hit you up. But I will see you later.
Give me a shout and tell
All right,
your
bye.
wife, I've been trying to get her on our podcast for a while. I need an email that she answers. If somebody could get that to me, I've tried a few of her emails to no avail. Thanks for coming, man. Salam
I'll
alaikum.
get that email address to you.
Okay, salam alaikum, bro.
All right. Malaikum.
Brujo Ryan, everybody. I should have had him talk for a few while I grabbed something to drink. Well, there you go on YouTube. That was Brujo Ryan, jumped on my live. Somebody I didn't really used to get along with, and now I'm getting along with him. So we've actually, we made up on TikTok, and now we've been on each other's lives and stuff. But it wasn't really an issue. It just wasn't somebody that I followed. But now I'm following him. Missed anything on YouTube? Sorry about that. A bunch of people over there. So, Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans. Again, you look on my profile on TikTok. My June class is now closed. The next year in a day course in Witch School is starting August 1st. If you get over there, gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. That's gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. Somebody could throw that in the chat, that'd be very helpful. Just follow me there and you'll know when I post the next class. I also have many standalone classes. My Magical Warfare and Spiritual Warfare series is pretty popular. But then there's some people that don't want to take a whole year to study witchcraft. And for them, I have my bundled series where you can take an entire year and a day's course as fast as you want to binge the shit at a reduced price and all that stuff. I'm also had some openings for readings yet. I usually don't plug that because I usually don't have openings, but I have some lately. You can get a hold of me at witchschool@gmail.com. WITCHSKEWL@gmail.com. I'm gonna go grab myself something to drink, and you can look at this beautiful tree for a minute, and then I'll be back. Alrighty then. Alright, I'm back. Let's see if I missed anything on YouTube. Tallest blade of grass is the first one to get strung by the lawnmower. Yes. Where can we get the bundles at? You get the bundles at witchschool@gmail.com. Or I'm sorry, gumroad.com/witchschool. That's where all my stuff is. You look for the bundle. I have my entire year and a day course bundled. I have my level 1 and level 2 bundled together. We're going to take the whole damn thing. It's, it's a different version of the class than the year and a day version, but just check out gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL, and scroll through the shit. There's all kind of shit. I think I even have a tarot class on there. Witchcraft without Wicca is pretty popular over there these days, but definitely the magical and spiritual warfare. Most people don't teach that kind of thing. Ravencrow. Oh, hey, Ravencrow. I saw you in there. I love the witch community, y'all. So nice and have so much knowledge without being judgmental. Well, just be careful. That's not the whole community, especially over on TikTok. Don't be too trusting of some of these people. God, I got this one fucking wild hair. I just want to pull it out. Oh, that's great. That helped. Uncle Birch coming to you live on TikTok and YouTube. Got a good crowd on each one of them. Is that your profile link tree? Yes, it's in my link tree. It should say classes or something like that in my link tree over here on TikTok. Over here on YouTube, well, I don't have a link tree, so you just gotta go there. Go to gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. Thank you for sending all the likes. Okay, Latina Bebe and Ravencrow are talking back and forth. Hey, that witchy dude, how are you? You just missed it. I had Brujo Ryan on for like an hour or something like that. So anybody wants to jump on over here on TikTok, I think it's down in the lower left-hand corner. You can ask to be on the screen, and I'll put you on the screen. That was pretty cool. Having Brujo Ryan on. We had some good talking there. Nicole Baker on YouTube says, really enjoying the classes. Right on. Your next batch of classes for this month's probably going to come out on the 5th. But the next class, the next level 1 class, going to start August 1st. So if you're following me over there on Gumroad, you get a notification whenever I launch a new class. Everything is the devil's work when you're not a Christian. I would jump on, but I'm working the market at the moment. Ooh, stock market? No. Are your classes timed? or at your own pace. It's your own pace. They're just like this. Me in front of my phone, talking to the camera, pretty much. The current level 1 course starts back when we lived in Hollywood, and by the end of the course, we're here in this backyard in New Orleans before I had any lawn furniture, so I'm not sitting here with this tree behind me. But yes, it's at your own pace. It's videos. There's some PDFs and that kind of stuff. I think there's only a little bit of homework for like the first month, and that's about it. What are my thoughts on astral projection? Over time, people have lost what witches knew about astral projection. What witches said was there was the astral planes, each plane being a mirror version of the plane before it, so an opposite of each, way up all the way to God. Nowadays, they talk about the astral plane, one plane. Witches rose between the planes. And if you put something way up here on this plane, it trickles down through the planes, builds up force, and arrives right here. Power of the occult. Yes, you're still in Hollywood for the class. Yeah. You can see how quiet it gets because in Hollywood we had a big freeway right by our tower, so you can hear all the traffic all the time and helicopters flying over. And then by the end of the class, it changes drastically. I'm going to have to plug in one of these devices here. Oh, the phone's going to move a little bit. Okay, all right, charging the phone. Cough, cough. Cough, cough, tree of life, cough, cough. And let's see over here on YouTube. Really enjoying the classes. All right, I haven't missed a whole lot there. Hello, Jody, Dave, Nicole. I didn't see the YouTube people for a while there because I was over here talking to Brujo Ryan. But if you want to jump on screen with me, the buttons are down in the lower left-hand corner. I think it's the co-host button on TikTok. That's what you would want to press. All right, just looking. Thank you for the likes. I still can't, unfortunately. Still can't what? Oh, you can't jump on? What are you, TikTok jail or something? Spent a lot of time there. Doing research, it's a good start. Only at 600. So wait, you can't come on another person's live until you have 1,000? Are you sure that's the case? I know you can't go live. That's ridiculous if you can't come on somebody else's live. Hey, Modern Witchcraft. We're at the tail end of the broadcast. Probably get out of here relatively soon, but been a good broadcast. We had Brujo Ryan here for a while. So really, you can't go on somebody else's live till you get 1,000. Well, hey, people, Power of the Occult over there, man. Follow him if you're not following him. He needs to, he's 600. Well, you know, you're at 500. Last time I tried to get you up to 1,000, so. Yeah, I only have like 1,200 people on this account, but let's see if we can get you up to 1,000 so you can go live. Lady Hawk, hello. Love Power of the Occult. Right on. Okay, so you're already following him. My husband, supposed to, but I don't know how. Or don't know how. Okay. Seems to be getting dark here. I think the rain is coming. I think it was supposed to be around 5, but that's the last time I looked at the weather report. But Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans on YouTube and TikTok. Checking over here on YouTube. Haven't missed any questions. But Ryan made me a moderator, so that's something. Okay. You were a moderator over there? Yeah, it sounded like he was getting a bunch of shit. Over here, it's been pretty cool. I have one community guidelines violation today, and we're waiting to see what happens with the appeal. All right, I'm just looking at the screen. See, all right, so if you have any more questions, you probably should throw them out pretty soon because I've been here for 81 minutes. What is the request thingy? I don't see the button. Down, I think you should have enough followers, Ravencrow. Down in the lower left-hand corner, there's something that says, on my end, it says co-host. It looks like an infinity symbol, but one side's red and one side's blue. And you click on that and ask to go on, or I think there's a way I can go like this. No. Okay, so let's see. I go like this. Okay, I'm scrolling through. I guess Ravencrow got here later. Huh, I don't even see you. Weird. You've got over 1,000 followers, I think. What's this one do? That one does nothing. All right. So if I hit click on, whoops, pull live together. Oh, here we go. Okay, Ravencrow, I just invited you. You should see a thing. And you hit accept. Oh, all right. You can be a little window down there. Huh. Different for everybody. And you're just there with. You're there with no video.
Let's see. I'm already here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're there, but it's just your profile picture. I don't know how Brujo Ryan did it.
Hold on, let me check something real quick.
Ravencrow friends. Ravencrow. Yeah, I don't know how to change that. But hey, Ravencrow's here.
I think that. Hold up. TikTok, man, TikTok.
Co-host is different than multicast.
Let's see. Yeah, it's like profile picture, but.
Yeah, see, I don't see Ravencrow on the co-host list. I see him on the multi-guest list thing.
Yeah, I see the profile pic. But I can't see to change it. Yeah.
Huh. They're not giving me an option to invite you in as a co-host. You're not on this list for some reason. There's Wolf and the Pup. I don't know who these people are. Well, anyways, how you doing?
Well, hey, Race. How you doing?
Oh, now I hear
Well,
myself.
hey, Race. How you doing? Well, hey, Race. How you doing?
Okay, that's
Well, hey,
weird.
Race. How you doing? Well, hey, Race. How you doing?
What the hell? Hold up. Where's that echo coming from?
What the fuck is going on?
I'm not even doing anything. I'm not even doing anything.
That was kind of crazy. I'm doing good, Arcane Lucifer. How are you? All right, I'm gonna get out of here anyways.
So, yeah, I'm trying to set the camera, but it's not doing anything.
Yeah. That's right. I've been on long enough. I should probably go anyways. I think it's going to piss down rain out here in a few, and we won't be able to make it to the house. Well, Raven Crow, we'll try again another time.
Right, no problem.
All right, y'all. Yep, Attitude Caffeinated knows what I'm going to say. Well, as our ancestors used to say, to remind us of the troubled times through which they came and the breadcrumb trail that they left you to follow in the ways. Merry meet, merry part,
3:15.
merry meet again. 3:15 what?